सो सर ये सेल्फ हीलिंग टेक्नोलॉजी अभी जो राइज में आ रही है जहाँ पे सेल्फ हीलिंग कंक्रीट है, सो ये क्या किस तरीके से इवॉल्व होगा कास्टोन इसमें?
Cast stone is essentially made from the stone dust that gets generated while you are extracting that natural stone. We've done a revenues of somewhere around 5 crores. We've recently done the penthouse at Vikhroli, which is one of the most premium properties in Bombay. So 80% of the work is all hand done. 20% is where machines come in to help do the difficult jobs for them.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? 80% ऑफ द वर्क इज डन बाय
80% of the work is hand done. Let's say we very recently did a project in Daman where we are doing a beachfront development. So it's a 2 kilometer long street where all the street furniture, the benches, the planters, the bola, dustbins, the litter bins, everything is made in this.
थोड़ी क्लाइंट लिस्ट आपके बताओ ना, किस किस लोगों के साथ आपने काम किया हुआ है?
We've done the home of a few movie stars. We've done the home for the director of Pushpa in Kochi. Currently doing the home of a Shark Tank judge in Pune right now.
कौन से जज? हेलो पाशवा सर,
Hello, madam.
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग द पॉडकास्ट।
Thank you so much for having me here.
या कैसे हो आप?
Very good, absolutely fine. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure to be here today.
या सो बिफोर यू कंटिन्यू द होल पॉडकास्ट, सर आप अपने ऑक्यूपेशन और ब्रीफली अपनी जर्नी के बारे में लोगों को बता दें ताकि उनको समझ आए कि क्या इस पॉडकास्ट में अपना विषय रहने वाला है।
Okay, so basically, I'm a engineer by profession. I graduated from CEPT, and I've been trying since the past decade to bridge the gap between architecture, engineering, and product design by creating a material called cast stone.
ओके
And we use that material to create architectural products like pots, planters, furniture, outdoor facades, and a bunch of other architectural products.
तो सर ये कास्टोन क्या होता है?
So basically what cast stone is, we utilize a waste stone dust that gets generated while extracting natural stones. We use that, we mix it with materials like cement, sand, a bunch of other additives. It's an engineered mix. We use that to create all of these set of products, and that mix is essentially poured into a mold or cast into it in some or the other technical way, and we create these architectural products using that.
Okay, so what is the difference between natural stone and a cast stone?
A natural stone is something which is mined from the earth. You extract it from the earth by mining it, by blasting it, a lot of other techniques. And then you take it to a processing center, you process it there in whatever way you want it to. And then it gets used into your houses, buildings, whatever other things are. When it comes to cast stone is essentially made from the stone dust that gets generated while you are extracting that natural stone. So it's a byproduct and a waste product of the mining process. So we use that along and combined with a bunch of other things to create a set of products.
Okay.
So what happens is you remove a lot of bulk, you're upcycling waste, you're trying and sort of creating and upcycling a waste to create an architectural product instead.
Okay. So why there was need of this stone?
So it is engineered stone. So what happens is there's a lot of limitations, things that you cannot do. Or let's say if you want to do 100 pieces of something in natural stone, right? You literally have to sit and carve through our CNC machine through each and every of those 100 pieces every time you want one piece. In our case, let's say we made a mold, we can literally create 100 pieces in less than 1/10 of the time that you can do it in natural stone. Retain that earthiness, that natural feel of the product, and still be able to manage a product that is going to last for a very long time in the outdoors. So it's not a synthetic product, it's something that is going to be very earthy and extremely natural in its look and feel, and it is made for the actual functional purpose of it. So that is how we try to classify cast stone as.
Sir, tell me some facts and figure कास्ट स्टोन के बारे में जो काफ़ी ज़्यादा सरप्राइजिंग हो।
Okay, so in terms of facts, let's say we manufacture somewhere around 5,000 plus planters which are really massive in size every year.
Okay.
We've done around 1 lakh square feet of facading so far with this material,
Oh,
and we've done a revenues of somewhere around 5 crores in terms of annually looking at cast stone.
क्या बात है, मतलब
Yes,
पूरे साल में सर.
साल में, एक साल में.
That's nice.
That is the kind of revenue that we are looking at right now.
सर कास्टोन है वो फॉरेन की कंट्री में क्या किस तरीके से चल रहा है, वहाँ पे है इतना ज़्यादा फेमस?
Yes, so it is essentially a very British and a very European thing. थोड़ा वहाँ का ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस है, एंड वहाँ पे इट हैज़ बीन यूज एक्सट्रीमली extensively over the past few years, because they don't have that many amount of resources like we do, and they also don't mine so much of stone.
कहाँ पे होता है सर ज़्यादा यूज़?
Majorly UK and places like Italy, जहाँ पे वो Victorian style वाले, if you see those urns and pots and building के बाहर जो भी corbels और cornices और जो भी those Victorian European style of buildings, that is where majorly cast stone was initially used.
अच्छा.
And we've used the base of the technology, built up on that with the modern technologies that are available, and tried and made our own mix that is much more domestic. यहाँ का जितना भी लोकल मटेरियल्स यूज़ कर सकते हैं.
तो सर ये कास्टोन पहले बहुत टाइम से ही चल रहा है सर, मतलब फॉरेन यूके में, जैसे कि आपने बताया कि बहुत टाइम से वहाँ पे.
So that is something very different. So the cast stone that they make there is extremely bulky. It is exactly to replace stone. कि natural stone के बदले यही यूज़ करेंगे तो उसको कैसे करेंगे कि पूरा स्टोन को कार्व करे, उससे अच्छा स्टोन को क्रश करेंगे, स्टोन को क्रश करके उसी को स्टेबलाइज करके कॉम्पैक्ट करके वापस पूरा स्टोन बना देंगे.
ओके. ओके.
तो लेट्स से जो चीज़ आप 6 इंच में कर सकते हो वो चीज़ हम शायद 2-2.5 इंच में भी कर सकते हैं,
अच्छा.
कंपेयर टू द कंटेम्प्रेरी कास्ट स्टोन के बदले व्हाट वी डू.
ओके. तो सर इसका मार्केट साइज टोटल कितना होगा अभी कास्टोन का?
So I think I won't really be able to say a number on the market size of it, because it's a market that we are trying and building on, and we're literally innovating and trying and breaking the mold of conventional products to come up with new products that are made in cast stone. So anywhere there's a building that is being made, it could be a house, a academic building, a hospital, a hospitality project, a resort, a high-end bungalow, a small apartment, a party plot. It could be anything, and they could have a few set of our products in that space in some or the other way.
सर मुझे थोड़ा और कास्टोन के बारे में समझना है. तो सर मतलब जैसे कि ईंट लगती है अपनी, उसके ऊपर ये कास्टोन लगता है या क्या है ये?
Okay, so it is not a plaster, it is not a building block, it is a architectural product. So what I mean by architectural product is कि let's say ये रूम बन रहा है, कि let's say your house is getting built, the entire house is done. Now you're looking at small decor pieces, you're looking at a furniture table, you're looking at a place, a cozy corner in a garden where you want to just go and have your evening coffee. Where do you sit? Let's say you want nice planters in your balcony so that neighbors can't see into your home. That is a place where you can use it. Or let's say a developer wants to do a common space in their entire project. Or let's say we very recently did a project in Daman where we are doing a beachfront development. So it's a 2-kilometer long street where all the street furniture, the benches, the planters, the bollards, the dustbins, the litter bins, everything is made in this, except for the road, the pathways, and these set of things. Everything that you interact with is made in cast stone. So that is how we could include this into any space.
तो सर ये आप completely outsource करते हो, you have any manufacturing?
We have our own manufacturing unit. We have our own 35,000 square feet factory where we manufacture everything by hand.
Okay, what is the name of the factory?
The company is called Artemis,
Okay.
and it's somewhere near Kalol, Gandhinagar.
Okay, why Artemis, sir?
Okay, so why Artemis? So Artemis is the Greek goddess of nature and landscapes,
Okay.
and it sort of connects to our ethos of timelessness, of being much more closer to nature, and what do you say, the natural instinct of the nature's goddess. So that is how we connect to to Artemis, and that is why the name Artemis.
So it is more kind of like B2B product rather than B2C product, if you consider.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We try and work majorly with architects, landscape architects, urban designers, developers,
Yeah.
high-end homeowners, or anybody else who's into the design fraternity and sort of works with people instead is our point of contact with anybody outside.
I have seen your Instagram page where you have जहाँ पे पूरे red blocks लगे हुए हैं.
Right.
So can you explain me more about it? Like क्या होता है वो?
Okay, so that's a facade, and what it does is it in Ahmedabad, it's extremely hot, but not just in Ahmedabad, but most of parts of India, it's extremely hot. Somehow double glazing wale jo glass wale buildings hai, they're not supposed to actually function very well because we don't need the sun to come in. We need to block it off. So what these screens do is they block all the extra sunlight from coming in. So that means your AC is going to make your space much more cooler.
True.
You don't need so much of harsh sunlight coming into a building, right? So it blocks all of that up. It also hides all the services on the backside, and it gives a very nice new look feel to the entire building.
तो ये नई न्यू फ्रेश बिल्डिंग पे ही होता है या पुरानी कोई भी बिल्डिंग पे?
No. So meaning there needs to be some structural considerations that need to be done. So better if we do it in a newer
Fresh
building.
building, right?
But we can retrofit older buildings also, subject to what can be done. That's a very subjective thing.
So any developer which is currently using this?
Oh, so we are working with quite a lot of developers currently, and Bakeri developers are my partner.
Wow, that's great.
He's a mentor to me rather.
Nice.
And otherwise we are working with some of the top developers, all the developers in Ahmedabad practically.
सो सर इसके बिजनेस मॉडल के बारे में मुझे थोड़ा और समझाओ. लाइक हाउ डज दिस बिजनेस वर्क? लाइक कोई इंसान आपको, जैसे कि कोई डेवलपर है वो आपको कांटेक्ट करता है, और समबडी फ्रॉम द हु इज़ बिल्डिंग अ हाउस, वो आपको कांटेक्ट करते हैं, एंड देन यू फाइनलाइज द होल थिंग, और हाउ डज इट वर्क?
Okay, so multiple products have multiple channels of how does it function like. So planters mein and furniture mein we have a product range of more than 200 plus products, 250 plus products rather, and they range from really small things to extremely big products. And that is essentially, like, most people will be able to find something off the catalog straight away, but there are a lot of clients who want to get something customized. So customization is an entire another ball game where we'll sit with the architects, we'll sit with the clients, with the agencies involved, we'll get to the smallest nitty-gritties, and then probably figure out how do we go around the customization part. And for facades and things like that, we get in when the building is actually getting planned. So we sit with the developers, with the architects, with the structural consultants, everything, help them through the entire process when the building is about to start. And then when the building is about to over, we go and install our products based on whatever the timelines are.
Any latest building which is going through this?
So there is a building called 135 in Sheelaj that we just completed, the one with the red blocks that you just saw. We very recently completed that. And there is another building called Earth Eleanor in South Bhopal on the Gymkhana Road.
अभी एसपी रिंग रोड पे कोई बिल्डिंग, या वो लोग ये टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं या?
We are in talks with somebody, so we might be there very soon.
सर इसकी ड्यूरेबिलिटी और लॉन्जिटिविटी की अगर जो मैं बात करूँ तो कितना रहता है कास्टोन का आउटडोर्स में?
Okay, so essentially the material is designed to be in the outdoors, exposed to the elements, so sun, rain, storms, whatever it is, earthquakes. And there are certain tests which we do, which are in-house. It goes through a very rigorous QA, QC check at the factory before the products are sent off, and they're designed to last 5 to 10 years in the outdoors, which is for planters or furniture. For facades, it's much more longer than that.
और सर अगर जो मैं प्रैक्टिकल बेनिफिट बात करूँ, अगर जो कोई भी कंस्ट्रक्शन करना चाहता है और लैंडस्केपिंग करना चाहता है, तो एस्थेटिक तो है ही है, बराबर है, बट उसके अलावा और क्या चीज़ वो कंसिडर कर सकता है प्रैक्टिकल बेनिफिट में?
Okay, so one very practical benefit that I'll like to talk about is, which is I think it's extremely important, and which a lot of people don't talk about. कि let's say I'm making a planter, मैंने कुंडा बनाया, I am only and only making that pot for the plant. I'm not making it for you to only see. If a pot can actually sustain and survive a plant which is going to grow and thrive in that, कि अगर वो pot के अंदर वो एक plant बड़ा हो गया, your value of the pot is going to be much more better. Right? Let's say if I take a synthetic product, I put it in the sun, it looks very nice to me, but a plant doesn't grow in it. Do you really think you're going to like that? You are not, right? अगर वो पेड़ बड़ा हो गया उसमें, you put a small shrub, you water it every day, you take care it for 2 years, and the plant dies, you're not going to like it. But if the plant grew from here to a big tree, you're going to love it. Correct. So we designed the pot for the plant and not for you to see. Your visual pleasure comes secondary. That is for plants. So let's say now if you're talking about facades. So facades mein you'll actually see a temperature drop of 3 or 4 degrees on the inside. Let's say if it's 45 degrees outside, there is a very high chance that the temperature on the inside of the facade might be 4 degrees lesser.
Okay.
So it cut down the heat. Correct? Actual benefit, practical benefit of it. One more benefit. Let's say if I'm talking about a outdoor furniture piece or a outdoor light, we have a lot of problems of monkeys or things like that, right? Let's say तुमने बाहर furniture का piece रखा plastic का, a monkey came, jumped on it from 10-20 feet, high chances it is going to crack. Or let's say a light that you placed, a garden light. अभी a monkey came and jumped on it, it's going to break. So we designed products which will actually be able to sustain those set of things. Where if you keep it in the outdoor, you forget about it. Whatever happens, there's a storm, there's a tornado happening. Whatever happens, your product is going to be exactly the way you left it. There might be a scratch or two on it or something like that, but it's not going to break or give away in any way.
So people are adapting this right now, ऐसा?
Yes.
ये पूरा cast room. ये कब से trend शुरू हुआ?
So I don't think it's a trend. It's a
क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग इतना ज़्यादा पहले नहीं था कास्ट स्टोन
नहीं
के बारे
कास्ट स्टोन में तो वैसे भी आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज एनीबडी एल्स रियली वी आर प्रोबेबली वन ऑफ द ओनली पीपल इन द कंट्री हु आर डूइंग इट
Okay.
देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आर डूइंग इट इन कंक्रीट
Okay.
but there is a difference between concrete and what we're doing.
Okay.
There's an angle of sustainability, there's an angle of upcycling, there's an angle of hand making,
Yeah.
and there's an angle of we don't mass produce, we tailor make.
Okay. Customized completely.
So it's not purely customized, but 60% of our products are on an average customized. Where you're looking at form, size, color, something or the other that gets customized in some other way.
फॉरेन में ये ट्रेंड है, कोई अडॉप्ट कर रहा है?
Yes, we are trying to explore the foreign markets too, and obviously there's a huge market. It's a big world, so there's a huge market where people are already catering to these set of things.
सो सर अगर जो मैं यूएसपी की अगर जो आपकी बात करूँ तो अगर जो कोई भी प्लांटर होता है उसकी अगर जो आपको सस्टेनेबिलिटी अगर जो चाहिए तो यू शुड ऑप्ट फॉर दिस वन, ऐसा?
Yes.
तो सर इसका आपका प्रोडक्ट रेंज और आपका स्पेशलाइजेशन थोड़ा बताओ ना इस पर्टिकुलर टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में.
Okay, so we have a huge portfolio of products in planters, pots, and water bodies, which is the landscaping elements.
सब में कस्टमाइज कर सकते हैं?
So we don't customize for smaller numbers. We can customize if there's an MOQ for certain clients based on whatever their requirements are.
नाइस.
So that is landscaping. Then there's more than 100 products in landscape in furniture, which is benches and seatings and tables and the entire range for furniture. And then facades, it's purely customer centric, meaning a customer comes to us, we help them conceptualize, we help them install, like from conceptualization to the installation part of it. हम पूरा we help them in the entire process.
Any popular color or texture which people are opting for it right now?
Okay, so popular colors are people love grays. Grays are like the in trend thing. People love very earthy tones. So let's say shades like a brick or a tan shade or a beige shade or a Tuscany sun sort of a shade. So that is what people generally love. And apart from these colors, there's a bunch of textures. So we have a range of 16 colors, and then we can do more textures in each of those colors.
Okay. What kind of textures like?
So there's a rough texture, there's a leather sort of a feel, then there's a very rustic shipwreck sort of a feel where you just got something out of an ocean, and how is it going to look like? So that could be one of the other surfaces that you can do.
So as you said कि आपके कोई competitors ऐसे इंडिया में अभी है नहीं.
Hey, like they're
Well,
indirect
they deal in-
competitors, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So how this all the products are variedly different from them. Like basically आपने बताया sustainability के बारे में.
Right.
तो you differ in that sense, or is there any other sense?
So sustainability, our design language, the way we approach the business, and the way the product functions. राइट बनाने के लिए तो बहुत कुछ बना सकते हैं, बट वी आर ओनली लुकिंग एट इट थिंग्स फ्रॉम अ पर्सपेक्टिव वेयर हाउ इज इट एक्चुअली गोइंग टू लुक लाइक व्हेन अ क्लाइंट स्टार्ट यूजिंग इट, एंड हाउ विल इट लुक लाइक आफ्टर 5 years once they have started using it. So we want to make products which they don't have to replace every time.
So it is a machine driven or completely craftsmanship? Yeah.
Okay, so we have machines and tools, but they are only helping skilled craftsmen create what they do.
Okay.
So 80% of the work is all hand done.
Oh, okay.
20% is where machines come in to help do the difficult jobs for them.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? 80% of the work is done by
80%
people.
of the work is hand done. So let's say if we're making a pot. If they start making that pot at 9:30 in the morning, that pot is going to end at 4 o'clock in the evening. So in that process, they have done multiple things around that also.
That's nice. मतलब
Yeah.
पूरा दिन ऐसा एक
Yeah.
तरीके से दिखने जाता हो. कितने टाइम में अगर जो तो you have a like lot of man force होगा ना आपके पास?
So
तो
we have a
अच्छा
team of almost 40-50 people in the factory floor who help us get things done really, and they're all trained and skilled by us, because whatever we do, there is literally nothing else that we can base our work or standards on.
सर इस इंडस्ट्री में रहते हुए आपको कितना साल हो गए?
It's been 10 years.
ओके. सो सर मुझे ना आपकी जर्नी बताओ कि किस तरीके से आपने स्टार्ट किया और क्या किया.
Okay, so I did my graduation from CEPT University. I studied from the Faculty of Technology. There's a course called Building Sciences and Technology.
Okay.
I did my graduation, engineering graduation from there. And how the interest came in is, so my dad is an architect. My brother's an interior designer, and now my wife is also a landscape architect.
ओके दैट्स ग्रेट. ऐसा पूरी फैमिली इसमें है.
पूरी family इसमें है.
नाइस.
And design and everything around it was dining table conversation at home since I've grown up. Then I ended up into engineering, realized that okay, there's a huge bridge between design and engineering and architecture, and found something that could sort of तीनों को mix करके क्या कर सकते हैं, like the intersection of all three of them is what we're up to right now. So the journey started with I was traveling through parts of Kutch, and I stumbled upon a lot of heaps on the roadside. Like even if you're passing through Kutch or Rajasthan, you see heaps and heaps every 1 or 2 kilometers here and there. And what happens is, whenever they extract the stone, they're cutting the stone in a gangsa, which is the processing center. There's a lot of stone dust that gets generated. So sandstone is very brittle. So when you're slicing through sandstone, almost 30 to 40% of the sandstone goes in waste. So they, when it's mixed with water, they store it into a slurry tank for a few months. Once the water is all evaporated and there's dry powder, they just pick that up and they dump it on the roadside. So what happens is, all of this dust, when it rains, let's say a truck passes by, हवा आया, कुछ भी आया, तो वो खेतों में जाएगा तो क्या होगा, वो खेत के जो कुएं है, पानी में अंदर उतर जाएगा, लोगों के लंग्स में जाता है, and it causes a lot of problems like liver stones or silicosis and tuberculosis and things like that. So that was the initial idea, that what can we do with it? So what I started with is, when I was in college, I started making bricks. So those bricks were made with 98% stone dust and only 2% of virgin materials that were used in the brick.
Okay.
And those bricks were almost twice as strong as the conventional मिट्टी के जो फायर किए हुए ब्रिक्स है उसका. तो देर वर 3 benefits about it. One is the bricks were very strong. They were actually earthquake resistant, which is very good for a region like Kutch, which is on the fissure line. And the other is it was locally made and कोई फायरिंग नहीं करना पड़ता है उनको सिर्फ मिक्स किया अच्छे से. देयर इज अ सर्टेन टेक्निक ऑफ इट. You press it in a certain machine and you just let it cure. Like you आपको पानी पिला उसको थोड़े दिन के लिए and you're good to go. You don't have to fire it. You don't have to use any energy or anything else that goes into the brick.
Okay.
That is how the entire idea started.
तो अभी कोई ऐसी कोई ब्रिक यूज कर रहा है अभी?
हाँ, there are certain places in Rajasthan, in Kutch, where such set of bricks are already being made. And they have a commercial.
डेवलपर्स एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं उसको?
Developers नहीं है. These are rural places where access to material and things like that is very difficult. So ये लोग क्या करते हैं, गांव में एक मशीन ले लिया.
अच्छा.
पूरे आसपास के 5, 6, 8 गाँव में जो भी कर रहा है एक जगह पे ब्रिक्स बन रही है and then everybody ends up using it. So it's not a very urban sort of a product yet, unless very high-end houses who use them, or rural setups or places where access to material is very difficult.
Okay.
So that is where we started, and then eventually realized कि bricks as a business तो पूरे lifetime नहीं कर सकता हूँ, me as a very personal thing. तो realized कि क्या कर सकते हैं. तो then we started realizing that okay, let's shift on the material. कि material वही रखते हैं and उसको pivot करके what all can we do with it. So we started exploring more into products. Then stumbled into somebody who asked us to make a cladding. Somebody told us we want to do a planter. Somebody told us we want to do a light. My own home was getting built, so I got a playground to experiment and do a lot of things there. And that is how we sort of developed and eventually scaled that entire process up in terms of the manufacturing capacity, in number of products, the textures, the finishes, and the overall offering.
Nice. सर इसकी कोई मेंटेनेंस रिक्वायरमेंट होती है?
So you might need to clean it with water once in a while, or just use probably some soapy water, not use any hard acids or anything like that, and probably get it resealed once in a few years, like once in 5-7 years you might have to reseal it once.
ओके. सर आपने बताया था ये सस्टेनेबिलिटी और इको फ्रेंडली बहुत ज़्यादा है, तो इसके बारे में मुझे थोड़ा और ज़्यादा डीपली जानना है.
So let's say sustainability is, I would look at it as a multifaceted thing, that it's not just one thing. Let's say we are reusing or upcycling waste. That is one part of it. The second is we are trying and sourcing most of our materials as locally as possible. like कितना नज़दीक से हो सकता है, because if I'm getting something from 2000 kilometers here and then making it here, that shipping का carbon emission is not going to be able to make it sustainable. So all the raw materials that we use are as local as possible. We hand make most of the products. So when it is all artisan made, those artisans are skilled, which we train. So all of these combined, and also the manufacturing practices that we follow, we try and use waste that we generate into the mix itself again wherever it's possible. So it's a complete cycle. And you can't just
काफ़ी ज़्यादा एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली हो जाता होगा ना?
हाँ, so meaning it is green. Yes, it is green. We don't have a IGBC lead sort of a thing yet, but we are trying to innovate without bureaucracy.
What is, sir, this IGBT?
So it's it's the Indian Green Building Council.
Okay.
So they have a certain set of norms where they help people make their spaces and products green.
So any certification or standard your product meet in terms of sustainability? कोई certification या कोई standard या कुछ?
So as I just said, like we don't have the lead and Griha currently.
Yeah.
But we're still in the process where we want to keep innovating more, and we'll parallelly trying and getting a few certifications for the sustainability part especially in place.
So how do you educate your clients about it कि इस तरीके से आप environmental friendly रहो, use cast stone और
We educate our clients in a way where our clients itself educate others about it. That's our entire way how we approach it, where we tell clients, we showcase it, like all the website, the Instagram page, the LinkedIn page, or wherever else, the catalogs that we do, they're all directed in a way where we try and help the clients understand what is happening, why are we doing what we're doing, the material, the way you're supposed to do it. And when the clients are really happy with what they get, they are the ones who are going to help promote our product, right? So they are the first circle of people who are going to push those products out. So I think that's how we sort of help clients understand what we do. And architects, so all the designers, they understand very well whatever we're talking about, so they really help us get to the clients, where if an architect tells you that okay, this needs to be done, the client is going to be much more happy to listen to the architect saying that if he's going to say something, then they'll be like, okay, yeah, karna hai to karna hai.
what client you typically work with?
What
Like,
clients?
या सो बेसिकली होम ओनर्स ले लेते हैं, आर्किटेक्ट्स ले लेते हैं, या लैंडस्केप डिज़ाइनर लेते हैं, इन लोग के साथ या कोई और भी है, या आप एक्सपोर्ट भी करते हो?
Right. So we majorly work with architects, landscape architects, urban designers. We work with developers very closely, and we are also exploring the export markets right now. We're in the process of trying and setting up a offshoot in the in a certain place very soon.
एनी लाइक सिर्फ अहमदाबाद में काम करते हो या ऑल ओवर इंडिया?
So we work pan India. We work majorly in Ahmedabad, Surat, Pune, Bombay, Hyderabad, Kochi, Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta, Guwahati, Delhi.
थोड़ी क्लाइंट लिस्ट आपके बताओ ना, किस किस लोगों के साथ आपने काम किया हुआ है?
Okay, so we work with some of the top developers in Ahmedabad. We've worked with Bakeri, we've worked with Shivalik, Swati,
शिवालिक में
Sun.
क्या बात
We've
है?
worked with most of the
शिवालिक में
developers.
सर कहाँ पे कैसे काम करो? कोई साइट्स के ऊपर और वगैरह?
So we've done a few sites for Shivalik also, and we've also done the planters for their headquarters in satellite.
वो चित्रक भाई की ऑफिस के
चित्रक
बाहर
सर के ऑफिस के बाहर जो planters है, the one that you see
हाँ
from the road
हाँ
are the set of planters that we've done.
ओके
We've also done, like, we've done offices for them, and we've also done sites for all of these developers that we just said.
ओके
And we've been pretty actively working with quite a lot of the developers, some of the top architects in Ahmedabad. We work with Hiren Bhai, we work with some of the top landscape architects in Ahmedabad. We've done some of the top homes in Bombay. We've recently done the penthouse at Vikhroli,
ओके
which is one of the most premium properties in Bombay. We've done the home of a few movie stars. We've done the home for the director of Pushpa
क्या बात
in
है?
Kochi.
हैं?
And we didn't know it was going to his home unless it actually went there, and then we realized that, oh, inka ghar hai ye.
ओके
Which is when we saw in the magazines is when we knew about it. We're currently doing the home of a Shark Tank judge in Pune right now, which is ongoing.
कौन से जज का?
We've done Namita Thapar's home.
दैट्स नाइस.
There's a huge list of clientele and a lot of other names which we can't say on mic here.
So any particular misconception people have about the cast stone?
Oh yeah, very much. So the first misconception that they have is कि ये तो सीमेंट है ना,
हाँ
कि ये तो कंक्रीट ही है ना. नहीं है. अगर सीमेंट और कंक्रीट होता तो तुमको जो रोड साइड पे जो पार्ट्स मिल रहे हैं वो सीमेंट और वही कंक्रीट है. That is the first misconception. It is engineered stone, whatever we make, and it is designed to deliver performance to you, and it's not just कि हाँ रेती सीमेंट लगा दिया और दे दिया. It's not that. So that is one very important misconception. The second is people think it's either extremely light कि वो ऐसे प्लास्टिक जितना हल्का है, और people feel it's extremely heavy which is like stone और RCC जितना heavy है, कि तुमको क्रेन लाना पड़ेगा एक छोटा सा पीस यहाँ से यहाँ करने के लिए, which is it is not either. It is not extremely light, it is not extremely heavy, it is in the middle somewhere. And a couple of people can manage something if they really have to, but it's not कि एक आदमी ने ऐसे लिया और यहाँ से यहाँ चला गया, ऐसा इतना simple भी नहीं होने वाला है. So that is another, the weight of it. So I think apart from that, yeah, people think it is extremely expensive. And like ऐसे लाखों रुपए हो जाएंगे ऐसे एक लेने का, which is not the case.
Okay. Average pot का क्या price रहता है like?
So we have a huge range. So the range starts from 500 and goes on till 1 lakh. But anything, most of the product range is between say 3,000 to 10-12,000 rupees a piece. Majorly, that is the price range for a pot.
अब मुझे ये जानना है कि AI जो है वो किस तरीके से आपको हेल्प कर रही है स्टोन डिज़ाइन में.
So AI, I think it's going to change the way we are looking at everything in terms of the design.
अभी तक कुछ डिफरेंस पड़ा है AI के आने के बाद?
Not yet, but
अपकमिंग टाइम
in the next, I think 2 years, it is going to have a large shift where people are going to start adapting AI. So it is going to have a huge impact in terms of the design, the way we approach design, the spaces around it, and the process.
Okay.
So let's say at the factory, जो भी हाथ से काम हो रहा है वो तो कभी AI रिप्लेस नहीं करने वाला है. So I am not worried about that, but it is going to actually help us optimize the process as to the operations part of it or the manufacturing part of it, I mean. So AI is going to be majorly in the back end for us.
सो सर ये सेल्फ हीलिंग टेक्नोलॉजी अभी जो राइज में आ रही है जहाँ पे सेल्फ हीलिंग कॉन्क्रीट है, ठीक है, सो ये क्या कास्ट स्टोन में इम्पैक्ट कर सकता है या किस तरीके से इवॉल्व होगा कास्ट स्टोन इसमें?
So I think definitely. So let's say the technology is groundbreaking in itself, and I can't wait to integrate or co-engineer self-healing properties into my material in some or the other way, because it is going to be helpful for everybody in some or the other way.
अभी 3D प्रिंटिंग और वगैरह का भी अगर जो आप देखोगे तो बहुत ज़्यादा रोल बढ़ रहा है, तो रोल इन द प्रोडक्शन आपको क्या देखने के लिए मिलता है? उसका कस्टमाइजेशन ऑफ कास्ट स्टोन अगर जो अपने देखने जाए तो क्या डिफरेंस मिलता है? आप उसको पहले ही बना सकते हो या ऐसा कुछ होता है?
Right. So it is definitely going to help us explore more forms, and because it has a lot more freedom, and even to make those first pieces or those second pieces or जो भी masterpiece mold का जो step है, जो first step है
वो easy हो
cast
जाता
होने से पहले, that is going to make it much more easier. That is one. The second is 3D printing is going to give us so much amount of freedom in terms of the form and application that let's say you want something today, they want something else, they want something else, these guys want something else, you will be able to quickly innovate and reiterate in terms of what you're looking at, how do you want the product and things like that. And it is obviously definitely going to help us increase the productivity, the scale of it, the details, and what level can do go into and things like that. So yeah, 3D printing is going to be a huge thing in the next decade.
What advice would you like to give to जो SEP से pass out हो रहा है or somebody in the architectural field?
I think spend more time on factories, factory floors, and people's offices than on Instagram and Pinterest getting inspirations.
Pinterest,
And the second is, I think, like do it. Let the products do the talking, and let's not just focus on the marketing part of it. So build a product that is going to market itself to people.
So अभी अगर जो अपने देखने जाए तो अभी जितने भी करंट जनरेशन वाले हैं उसमें आपको किसी में भी कोई प्रॉब्लम लग रहा है या कोई लोग में जो प्रॉब्लम है जहाँ पे वो लोग इंटीरियर डिज़ाइनिंग या आर्किटेक्चर में कोई प्रॉब्लम्स कर रहे हैं या दे आर नॉट ग्रोइंग वेल आपके जनरेशन के हिसाब से और समथिंग लाइक दैट, और दे शुड डू समथिंग मोर?
Not really. I think everybody moves at their own pace, and what they do, whatever they're comfortable with, that includes me and everybody else. So I don't see a real problem with things as such.
Nice. So any 3 advices for somebody who want to start the same business?
Okay. Be ready for a very rough decade of exploring and trying and training people.
Okay,
Uh,
that's number one. Yeah.
that is number one. The second is you'll have to do a lot of hands on work, so be ready for that. Like, it's not something where things can just be done and it's a ready machine that you order from somewhere. You set it up, you press a few switches, you put the raw material in, and the other side the finished product is going to come out. It's not the process. It's an extremely lengthy process, which is at least a 17 step process to get one product made. And all of those 17 steps have to be precisely perfect for you to get a good nice product at the end of it. There's a lapse in any one of them and there's a very high chance that the product goes wrong. So that is two. And I think go and meet a lot of people, like just understand what people want. If we do that, I think a lot of the problems are very simple to solve. But we just have to understand and listen what people really have a problem with, and do they really need a product there? If yes, then it's a huge, the world's pretty, it's a huge stage to play in.
सो अगर जो कोई लिसनर है वो आपका प्रोडक्ट एक्सप्लोर करना चाहता है तो किस किस तरीके से वो प्रोडक्ट एक्सप्लोर कर सकता है और कैसे आपको रीच आउट कर सकता है?
Okay, so the best way to get in touch is you can follow us on Instagram. Our page is Artemis Castone. Please do follow us. And the other way is that we have a website by the same name. You can reach us out there through the website. And we also have a studio in Ahmedabad. So please feel free to drop in for a chai at our studio anytime.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग द पॉडकास्ट.
You're welcome.
होप सो आपको मज़ा आया होगा और हमारी ऑडियंस को भी बहुत सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिली होगी. एंड कास्टोन के बारे में डेफिनेटली बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है, बहुत ज़्यादा इको फ्रेंडली एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी के ऊपर बहुत अच्छा काम किया है मेरे हिसाब से तो ऐसा. और जिन जिन लोग को इस तरीके की सस्टेनेबिलिटी के प्रोडक्ट्स चाहिए डेफिनेटली आपको रीच आउट करना चाहिए.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Manu. It was a pleasure being here.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you.